Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Can you please introduce yourself for us?
Absolutely, would love to do that. And first of all, thank you for having me here. My name is Rahul Devarakunda. Just call me Rahul for the ease of it. I'm one of the co-founders of a consumer technology company called WooBloo Inc. And we are headquartered here in Raleigh, North Carolina in the States. And we have teams in India and China. This is our first time. We're launching a first consumer product. And this is our first CES experience. With all being digital, it's exciting and it's different.
Kind of crazy. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us about WooBloo.
So I have our device here. So we months back, and the whole idea of WooBloo is to build cool consumer products. Today we have a lot of technology that's available to us. It's voice recognition, it's gesture recognition. We wanted to take advantage of those technologies and build a product which can be amazing, which could be very usable, and at the same time fun to play with. So our first product is Vublue Smash, as you can see right here. This is a combination of multiple features all put into a single device. Today, there is a smart speaker. It could be an Echo or it could be an OK Google. And then they have projectors, and then they have Bluetooth speakers for them to pair with their phones to listen to music. We kind of took all of that and put that into this sleek looking device. And as you can see on the background, it's actually projecting, and I don't want to hit it on your eyes, but that's the projector. It's a combination of it's a smart projector, which has projector, Alexa built in, and now it's going to start listening to us. And you can pair your phone and play Bluetooth music.
So okay, I have tons of questions. I guess my first question would be, what would be the purpose of a smart projector versus a regular projector?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Today, I think people have got into the mentality that everything has to be mobile. You don't want anything to be fixed on a wall. You don't want anything to be screwed on to a drywall because you want to move things around. So let's say there is an NFL game and the games are coming up, and you want to go to the backyard, have a few drinks, spend some time with your friends, but then you have your TV, which is inside your living room, or you have a projector mounted onto the ceiling in some other room, and you can't necessarily enjoy it. So with something like this, you could carry it in your hand. As you can see, it's pretty light. And you can carry it in your hand, you can take it to the backyard, or let's go a little more family oriented. I got two beautiful girls, and if I'm telling them a bedtime story, and typically in kids' rooms, you don't recommend having a television as they're growing up. Now, if you are telling a bedtime story and you want to do a Disney princess story, then you can basically project this. You can't see the ceiling. But you can project it onto the ceiling while you're sleeping on the bed right next to them, telling them a story, and that could be another element. Or you're going on a camp. Let's say you're taking a trip down to the Smoky Mountains or wherever, or taking an RV out with you. A perfect device to carry around because you can tether that with your cell phone, so you can get the data, and you have all of these amazing apps where you can play Netflix, Prime, Hulu. We have about 30 plus apps pre-installed on it, and you can install whatever you want on the go.
So I know that you have Alexa. So using Alexa, hopefully it's not chiming. My bad. So using that, I'm guessing you won't really have a use for a remote control, but I also noticed on top you have buttons. Is there a remote control as well as that, or is that everything included?
Well, that's a great question. I think we have different kinds of consumers. Some consumers are pretty smart in using a voice assistant. So you can use, I'm going to just call it A. You can use the A and then get things done. So you can say, A, open, prime, and play Jack Ryan, and it's going to do that. Some consumers, if I take my elderly parents, they probably are not going to use a voice assistant. So they probably would need a remote. So we are giving a remote with it. Now, there are the younger generation called the millennials, if I may, and for them, everything needs to be on a smartphone. So we are creating an app for them to install on iOS or Android so they can control the screen, they can flip screens, they can select the movies that they want. Basically, they're using an app to control what's getting displayed on the projector.
That's cool. I like that. So let's talk about setup. Do you need a certain type of distance in between the device and the wall or the device and the ceiling? Let's talk about room lighting. What's needed?
That's another excellent question. So let's talk about setup in two ways. One is right out of the box, how complicated is it for somebody to get started? And then, where would you place this device in your household or wherever? We are inspired through the concept of Apple's design philosophies, where, these days you can go give an iPad to a 3-year-old and they would use it exactly the same way that you and I would do. We were inspired by that. So right out of the box, when you unbox it, all you have to do is you would go ahead and hit on the power button, and it's going to start the projector. It's going to give you display messages on the screen on how to connect to Wi-Fi, and you're done. The moment you're connected onto Wi-Fi, it's going to install everything it needs to install based on your regional location, because some apps that have some regional locks. So based on where you are, it's going to install everything. In about less than 5 minutes, you have a portable projector that's ready to go. From a distance perspective, where would you keep it? Right now, I'm probably about 4 feet away, and that's displaying about a 45, 50 inches screen behind me. And it has an auto zoom adjustment, so I can keep going as back as I can with a max display of 120 inches. So you can sit down and enjoy a good movie, even in a small room or in a big room. And as you can see in ambience lighting, I have all the lights on. I mean, it's about 6 p.m. in Raleigh. It's pretty dark outside, but I have all the lights on, and it's fairly visible. Even on a video call, you can clearly see the image. So it's a full 1080p, 120 inches portable projector.
That's awesome. And I can definitely see that the picture is pretty clear even through a camera. So really good job. I do have a question on battery life and charging. So obviously it's wireless, which is a huge perk, but can you talk about how long it takes to charge this and what the battery life is like?
I love those questions. So we wanted to make this very convenient. It's our entire emphasis from a company's standpoint is driving convenience. So what we have done is we have created a beautiful looking charging dock. So you can connect your cable, the power cord to it, leave it anywhere you usually would leave it. And you can come, and all you have to do is put this and it's going to start charging. From a battery life perspective, we have 10,000 mega amps of battery in it, which means it's pretty powerful. It can run up to 30 hours of A, which is the voice assistant, or the Bluetooth speaker. Let's say if you're having a party, if you're in the backyard, if you're playing some music, it can run for 30 hours. And if you're using the projector, it can play a full NFL game, which is 3 hours, including your halftime. So if you're running a video, then it's 3 hours. If you're running just the voice assistant and the Bluetooth as a speaker, it runs for 30 hours. Now, the last thing is how quickly does it charge? So we have put in the fast charge technology in it. So let's say if your battery is completely drained, the device is going to automatically shut down at 5% when the battery is there, because we want to save the life of the projector. We don't want it to abruptly just get shut off. Once it's completely off, it takes about an hour and a half for it to get to a 70% charge. So you can put it there, 70% charge. That's going to get you a good 20 plus hours of music or the voice assistant, or at least an hour and a half to 2 hours of video.
That sounds perfect. So if I wanted to get this in my hands right now, can you talk about pricing and availability?
Today is going to be a memorable day for everybody in Vublue. And the reason for that is we just went live on Indiegogo from a crowdfunding campaign perspective.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a fantastic day. We're already 300% over our funding goal, and that happened in the first 2 hours. We're going to be running this campaign for the next 30 days through Indiegogo. So we are offering an early bird price at $399, where MSRP is going to be $699. So we're going to be scaling it up. So hopefully anybody who's watching this, if they want to get a great piece of product at a reasonable price, then Indiegogo crowdfunding is probably the way to start.
And if I order on Indiegogo today, when do I expect to receive?
So as people can understand, crowdfunding is a little muddy space, if I may. There are a lot of concepts that they ask for funds, and we didn't want to do that. What we did instead is we went ahead and invested significant amount of our own money. We spent north of $350,000 on our startup, so we can make a product which is fully working. It does everything it has to before we went to crowdfunding. So there are two stages that we are yet to complete. One is we got to do the fun stuff, working with the government to get the FCC approvals. Because of COVID, we're expecting some delays because people are not coming into offices. And then two is we got to get this approved by Amazon because it's an inbuilt voice assistant in there. Our best case scenario is we are thinking it's going to be April, but just to kind of set the right expectations, or should I say, under deliver and overcome it, we are saying it's going to be June 2021 before they get their device, but we are hoping to get it out much sooner than that.
That's totally understandable. And my final question is, if I wanted to find out more information, or if anyone wanted to find out more information about WooBlue or Smash itself, where can they go and how can they find out more?
So you could absolutely visit our website, which is WooBlue.com. Hopefully that's a punchy name that you don't forget that easily. So you can go to Vublue.com. You can read all about our company, about our philosophy, who's the team, and then definitely check out the technical specs. There is a working video of the product. So instead of just throwing some video, we actually shot a video with a working model. And right on the web page, there's the Indiegogo link. You could just click on it and hopefully you'll back us up.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rahul, for your time and explaining all this to us. I hope you have a great rest of your CES 2021.
Very excited about CES, and thank you again for having me on the show.
And congratulations on your launch.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that interview, and if you did, make sure you check out some of the more than 100 interviews we conducted during the virtual CES 2021 coverage. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the notification bell to learn when we post new content and when we go live.